All right, so let's go ahead and get started. And we will put a problem on the board and let y'all go to it. How about that? Let's go with 1/6 plus 1/9 minus or plus 1/12. All right, let's do that one. Give y'all 30 seconds to read it. Oh, I changed it. I just remembered, I changed it. I changed it because somebody was using it that wasn't supposed to be using it. While y'all are doing that, I'll put the video on pause. Common denominator is 36. Now we convert our numerators. 6 will go into 36. 6 times 1 is? 9 will go into 36. 4 times 1 is? 12 will go into 36. 3 times 1 is? And 7 plus 6 is 1336. Now let's finish out your homework that we were doing the other day. And that way y'all can at least turn in one section of homework, right? Huh? What's on about? Nothing. I'm talking to the person that just got registered yesterday. I don't know if there's anybody that just got registered yesterday. I just said that. Somebody who's talking about me. I can't win. What chapter are we on? 5? This is 5:3. Pull some of those word problems back out that y'all love so much. We did these. So let's see what that one looks like. We did that one. We didn't do that one. We didn't do, yeah, we did that one. That's the last one we did, the PVC pipe, right? All right. Jamie Baylor is a chair, not the chair you sit in, but a chair of a department, a chairman, chairwoman, chairperson, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, the person that's the head of the department, yeah. At a college, Jamie has a budget in which 1/5 of the money is for photocopying, 3/7 of the money is for computer-related expenses, and the rest of the money is for student tutors and foreign language labs. What fractions of Jamie's budget is for tutoring? What fraction or what percentage? So do it. Write it down first. This is number, well, it's not number 43. This is out of the tutorial. This is out of the extra questions where it's got study plan. So, huh? Jamie Bailey, I'll do it and read it all again. Jamie Bailey is chair of a department at a college. Jamie has a budget of 1/5 of the money for photocopying. 3/7 of the money is for computer related, and the rest is for tutors. So you got 1/5 and 3/7. Find the third fraction.
priority 1 message coming in on secured channel.
That was her. All right. So we have 1/5 plus 3/7 plus blank is equal to her whole budget, right? Okay? We don't really care what this is because we can make this denominator whatever we want. Or we can make it X. Or we can just do it in our head. So we really, all we care about is these two. So what's the common denominator of these two prime numbers? 35. So put a 35 here. And a 35 here. And if you wanted to, you could put a 35 here. Okay? And her whole budget is 1. We'll just say 1. Not $1, not 1, but the whole budget. So 5 will go in there. 7 times 1 is 7 will go in there. 5 times 3 is.
Secured channel.
So 15 plus 7 is what? 22. So what is this?
12.
Whatever 22 from 35 is. How much?
22 over 35.
Mm-hmm. So, and you don't need that for the problem. You just need, oh well, yeah, you do. So you got 7 plus 15. What did y'all say that was?
22.
Oh, I thought
That should
that.
be 12.
Thank you. 12. Okay, this is 22. So you basically have 22 over 35 plus x is equal to 1. And then you bring this over here. X is equal to 35 35s, which is 1, minus 22 over 35, and that's x is equal to 12 over 35. Or you could just do it in your head. You know that 35 over 35 is equal to 1, so you don't have 35 and 7 and 15. You need that. You need another number here to make 35 over 35.
Where is it?
Huh? Will y'all give me the right answer, or y'all just want to give me the wrong answer? Why do you want to set me up like that? 13. 13. Will somebody check and make sure that 7 plus 15 plus 13 is 35?
And it's 35 over 35, so 35 minus 22 is 17. So that's the whole.
All three of these has to equal 35. Because what is 35 over 35? 1. So they want to know what this number is. Well, you can either just do it in your head and say 22 away from 35 is 12 or 13, whatever. Or you can go over here and do it with algebra. 22 35ths, that's these two guys right here, plus x, the number we're trying to find, is equal to 1. And 1 is what? 35 over 35. And then bring the 22 over 35 over, it becomes a minus, and you get 13 over 35. So their answer is 13 over 35. If y'all told me right, y'all might set me up again. Good job. I feel good about myself. All right, try that one. Okay, now you got to take a piece of paper and do this. Oh, God, I didn't know this was on here, so I'm sorry. Well, we got to have some fun with it. Take a sheet of paper out. It says take a clean sheet of white paper and fold it in half, then fold it in half again, and fold it in half a third time. And when you unfold it, you should have 8 rectangles. So, what does each rectangle represent? 1/8. I have no idea where this is going. I've never seen this question before. Continue. Which of the following expressions represents the sum of the red and blue regions in the figure to the right? Which one would that be? 3/8 plus 1/8? Simplify the expression. 1/2. Okay. I don't know where this question came from, but all right. Next, return the paper to its folded state and then fold the paper in half again. Which of the following expressions represents the number of regions that are blue? Oh, I guess you were supposed to color the region. I'm sorry. Oh, well. You're supposed to color one of the regions. Did it say color it? Where does it say color it? It doesn't. Put an X on one of the regions then. Do that. Put a big X on across one of the regions like this one right here. Or put a B on this and put a big B that covers the whole. Put a big R, and a big R. And I guess that's the best way to do it. I don't know. It doesn't say color it. It just says, I don't know where that comes from. And it says, what best describes, after you fold it the 4th time, what best describes the blue region? I have no idea. I haven't, let me see. I have to look at it. Where's yours?
It's 1/8 times 2 is D.
Okay, so you folded it right here. I'm just looking, I've never seen this before. Now, where's your blue B? Oh, there it is. That would be 1/16 times 2.
No, it would be 1/16, so it'd be 1/8 times 2.
I thought it would be B. It says, what are your regions of blue? Your regions of blue are 2 what? 2/16. So that would be, now I'm reading it, you could be right, but I've never seen this question before. I would thought it would be B. Let's see what happens. Oh, here's your toy back. Let's see. Don't worry, this is not going to be on the test. Yep, it's 1/16 because there's 2 little regions. 2 times 1/16 equals 1/8. 1/8. What does it say now? 2/16 is 1/8. Oh gosh, this is a regressive question. They should have done this at the beginning. Use the blue region of the folded pieces of paper. Which of the following expressions represents the region of a piece of paper? 1/4 divided by 2, that's an answer.
Unit a work email.
Oh, 1/8, I'm sorry. That blue region is 1/8. I'm sorry, I keep thinking of it as a 4. Simplify 1/4. 2 over, oh, divided by 2, I'm sorry. Divided by 2 would be 1/2, that'd be 1/16. Oh, horse pucky. Are we done? Okay, we're not doing that question. All right, how many did I get right on that one? I mean, how many did we do on that one? We did, let me see if there's any other questions that you might see on the test as far as word problems. Let me start, let's see, 69 here. Did that one here. Let's see what this one looks like. All right, go ahead and try that one. We hadn't done many subtractions. Go ahead and do this one. This one says 12 over 25 divided by, I'm sorry, minus 49 over 125. 12 over 25 minus 49 over 125. Find the common denominator, and it is what? 125, because a quarter will go into 125. $1.25. I love to put that on the test. 125 divided by 25, and people will actually put that on the calculator. But you ask them how many quarters in $1.25, and they'll say 5. Won't even need a calculator. I had one class 2 or 3 semesters ago. I made up about 3 or 4 of those scenarios about the, if you ask somebody what's 6 times 25, they put it in the calculator, but if you ask them what 6 quarters is, they say $1.50. Well, I did it about 4 times in 4 different classes. I mean, 4, like y'all's class, I've done it like 2 or 3 times. But I did it like 4 times with this one class, and this girl in the back row, she went, I just figured out what you're talking about. I didn't even ask where she worked, but I guarantee you she was a cash register person somewhere. Nothing beats the one the other day. All right, well, let's do it. Buck 25, right? Yeah. $25 will go into 125. How many times? 5 times 12 is 125 will go into 125 one time. 1 times 49 is 49. 60 minus 50 is what? 10, but you're not minusing 50, you're minusing 1 more than 50. So it's what? 11. I meant not 1 more than 50, 1 less than 50. That's your answer. Now, I did the last 10 problems of the study plan. Except for the last problem, that last goofy problem, those are your most difficult problems. So you should be able to handle most of your problems on your homework. Let me see if I missed any. Let's see what that one says. That's an easy one. What's the common denominator? 55. Why'd you come up with that so quick? They're both what? Prime. Common denominator. Nope. That's one of those you got to watch. Because you'll be getting some BA numbers and you don't even need them. Right quick. You're close, it might be it. 8 and 10. 2, 4, 5. 2 squared, 1, 5. And 5, 1, 1. What's 8 times 5? 40. You got to watch these. These will get you. You'll be having some BA number, and you'll get some BA number and have to rely on a calculator to divide into it. Don't need that. That's 41 out of 42. If we did 41. Let's see what 41 looks like. Yeah, we did that one, or one like it. Okay. Now, I saw a few back here. We did that one. I saw a few back here. There we go. Now we're talking about a test problem. Now, before I do this test problem, let's go over, let's clean off our sheet, turn to a clean sheet. And we're talking about multiplying and dividing fractions. You with me? Multiplying and dividing fractions. Now really, is there dividing fractions? No. There really is not dividing fractions because you multiply by the what? Reciprocal. So basically it's all multiplying. But we're going to go ahead and do a couple. 1/5 times 10 over 11. Now I like to tell students that there's two ways to do this problem. And there's two ways to do, well, if the problem is able, there's two, one is to multiply, the other is to cancel. But sometimes the canceling you can't do, so you have to rely on the first one. The first method is this. Multiply numerator and denominator, then reduce. Okay, why do we always reduce? That way you don't walk into Lowe's and ask for a 50/100 wrench. What is a 50/100 wrench? Half-inch wrench. But you'll have that guy, if he's stupid, looking around it for 2 or 3 hours. Like trying to find a level bubble to go back in your level. You don't know where to get level bubbles? You don't? You need to find that out. You need to Google it. Yeah. To go in your level.
Yeah,
The level bubble that actually goes in
I
there?
know, online.
It's right beside the lumber stretchers. We had a guy, we were over in Saudi, we were cleaning up, coming over from the war, and we had a guy over there that was dumb as a bag of donuts. I mean, he was stupid. And he would get on your nerves. Finally, his name was Doyle. D-O-Y-L-E, Doyle. And finally, we sent him on we showed him this pallet, and the pallet was too short. So we told him to go find us some lumber stretchers in the maintenance shed. And he left the maintenance shed after he could find it, and he went to the CO's office. And the CO is the commanding officer, which was a general, not a general, a colonel. And we got in trouble for that. But anyway, didn't get in trouble. We told him, we said, send him somewhere, just don't send him to us. But anyway, lumber stretchers and level bubbles do not what? Exist. Okay? All right. So multiply, shoot this across, and what do you get? And then shoot this across, what do you get? Now note, unlike adding and subtracting, this denominator and this denominator gets multiplied. Remember that. Now, I went straight across, got a 10, straight across and got a 5. 5. What goes into both the top and the bottom? 5. Then you get 2 what? And that's your final answer. All right, that's one method. That's called multiplying. Multiplying, then what? Reducing. Well, let's say you don't want to do it that way. Well, this one you can do the other way. This one you can, and this is the second method. And this one is the one that you need to highlight is restricted. Reduce, then what? But QB is going to highlight this one, and I'm going to highlight it with a mauve color. Did I not hit the highlight button? Don't laugh at me. There. That means,
Joy.
can you do it
Voicemail has arrived.
all the time? No, you cannot do it all the time. So be careful. Remember, you can cancel which 2 ways? You can cancel vertically. Okay, I'm about ready to quit. You can cancel vertically, and you can cancel what? Diagonally.
Joy. Voicemail has arrived.
You cannot cancel horizontally. All right, so let's look. Can the 1 and the 11 cancel? No. Can the 1 and the 5 cancel? No. Can the 10 and 11 cancel? No. Can the 5 and the 10 cancel? Yes. Yes. The 5 will go into 5 one time, 5 will go into...
Priority 1
And then
message
1
coming in on
times 2
secured
is
channel.
2, and 1 times 11 is 11. And that is how you reduce and multiply. When in doubt,
Priority 1 message
Do
coming
this.
in on secured channel.
okay, sorry. When in doubt, do the first method.
Is that hands-free mode?
Huh?
Is that hands-free mode?
What?
On your phone,
What? What do you mean hands-free?
I don't know, Galaxy talks to you every time you get a message. Yeah, Galaxy.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, I assign different notifications to different things, so I'll know if it's a Tri-County Tech email, or if it's just a personal email, or if it's a text, or if it's a...
Yeah, I just got mine, I clicked it, and didn't know.
Well, you got to go into settings for each of the applications. You have to go into Facebook applications, settings. When you get in Facebook, go down and hit settings. If your menu, hit settings and go in and change the notification. But you got to pick a notification for each one. I go to, what's it called? Zedge? I use Zedge. And it has all kinds of good stuff on it.
It was a dang on iPhone.
Okay, sorry about that. And that way, when I'm on the farm and I get a mail that says Tri-County Tech email, I know I need to check it because it may be my boss or it may be a student. If it says,
When I was driving, I thought I was my text coming or something. Yeah, I didn't hear nothing.
all right, so if in doubt, do the first method. So, like, say you go to a problem and you get stuck in the middle of it, just stop, rewrite it, and do this method. All right, let's try nerd. 3 over 2 multiplied by 14 over 27. All right, try that one. And you can do it both ways or you can do it one way. I don't care. Just, if it's broke, fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You do it your way, and if you get it right, it ain't broke. Okay, so the 2 will go into 2 one time, and we'll go into 14. 3 will go into 3 one time. 3 will go into 27. What's the answer? And that's your answer. And that's how you do multiplying. Not a big deal. So let's do division, which is what? Multiplying. 3/4 divided by 2. Okay? The first thing I'm going to tell anybody to do when you see one with a whole number in it is change the whole number into a what? Fraction. So I'm going to say 3/4 divided by 2 over what? 1. Now, the rule for multiplication, dividing by a fraction, is that you multiply by the reciprocal. Multiply by reciprocal. Now I want everybody to look, because the biggest problem I've seen students do here is they get confused. Always remember this. Which way do we read? Left to right, unless you're from the Middle East, Masalama, and you read from right to left. Masalama means go in peace. Okay? So you don't read right to left, you read left to right. So let's look at this. If we read from left to right, where is our only mathematical operation? Right here, right? If we read from left to right, right here, where is our only mathematical operation? Multiply. So where that is going to change into a what? Multiply. Okay, that's not where people get confused. People get confused is which one do we flip? So that's why I tell you read from left to right. Okay, multiply goes right here by the what? Which way do we read? Left to right, and that's left to right. So which one do we flip? This should be 1/2. 1/2. And that's how you always remember which one to flip. Left to right. You never touch this guy. So put a block around him. You don't touch him. And nothing cancels. The answer is 3 over what? 3 over 8. 3 over 8. Some of you builders, what's half of 3/4 of an inch? 3/8. Okay? And that's how you divide. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that because y'all should know how to do that. Where y'all get bogged down, y'all not in here, but students, is where? Adding and what? Subtracting fractions. Because you don't know how to find the least common multiple. Now you know how to find the least common multiple. You know how to find the common denominator. And you feel good about yourself. Right? So you don't have to put $10,000 worth of tires and rims on a $1,000 car. Okay? Now, let's talk about 5.2 right quick. 5.2 is all about the money, boys. Money is the most important thing in everybody's life. And I don't want to hear any self-righteous people go, money's not important to me. Shut up. Just shut up.
I was watching this video on YouTube, and it was like this guy who was saying, everyone said they want to be successful, and then the guy went to the studio and said he wanted to be rich, he wanted to be successful. Guru made him walk out into the water and held him down in the water. He's like, what did you want? And the entire time he went in the water, he said, I just want to breathe. He said, when you want to succeed as much as you want to breathe, then you will.
Yeah, and that's true. It takes this thing called work. And that's why I am so against the philosophy of taking away from the rich and giving to the poor.
Well, some people ain't here, so.
We do that. It's called what? What do we give and it goes to the poor? What is that called? It's called taxes. And that's why we have taxes, and that's why our structure is, if you make oodles and oodles of money, you have to pay up to 35% of those oodles and oodles, where somebody that doesn't make oodles and oodles only pays 10%. I don't agree with that crap. If you bust your butt all your life and you make millions of dollars, then you need to give half of it to somebody. Let me ask you a question. Let's say I give y'all a test next week. And it's going to be a hard test. And Mr. Lassiter, he goes out and chases wild women. He don't want to fool with it. Okay? But, what's your last name? Walker, yeah. I knew it started with a W. Because I remember writing it on that piece of paper. Miss Walker, she wants to make an A, so she studies her butt off. She studies every night till 2 o'clock in the morning. She does every bit of her homework twice. She does every sample twice, similar exercises, does it twice. And she does every single one of her problems, and she busts it with an A. She's got an A average. And then he gets 42. And the lowest grade in the class is 42. The highest grade is 100. So I work out the curve, and I decide that I need to give some of the higher students your 100. I need to shave off about 12 of your points and give it to him. How do you feel about that? Why? Welcome to the conservative movement. Because that's what it's all about. You don't work your tail off and give your points to people. Why do you give your money that way? That's why we have taxes. But anyway, to get off of that, money is very important. And the reason is you did that, you got us on that. Money is very important. Now, there are different kinds of importance. There is importance like, worshiping, and I'm not talking about worshiping money and let the babies go hungry because you want them to make money. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about paying your bills. I'm talking about having a life. I'm talking about being able to go out and buy something because you like it. That's what I'm talking about. It's important. And you can't live in a house unless you what? Pay for it. Okay? Even though when I found out that, one of the things I was mad about, and one of the reasons I got divorced was my house payment was 3 or 4 months late. And I've been giving my money to my ex-wife, and she hadn't been paying the bill. Okay? It's important for us to pay our bills. So, why am I giving you this speech on important money? Especially you women. No. I worked at Walmart for 3 years before I went to the Marine Corps. And I worked as a cashier. You know when you get real busy, they call everybody to the front. Well, not at Walmart now, but they don't have one cashier. But they used to, when Walmart was Target, now Target is it. They used to, when the owner was still alive, they used to call everybody up that was not working in the department. Like if there was 2 people in sporting goods, one would come up and do the register. Well, I came up and did the register one time. It was during Christmas. And I messed up on my change. And buddy, how long does it take a woman to realize that she's not been given the right change? A nanosecond. A nanosecond. I mean, that's a millisecond. Guy, he goes through the butter, walks off, finds out later he's been shortchanged $5. But women, you try to, if you came up to the cash register and your bill was $10.97, okay, and you gave me a $20 bill, then I owe you what? $9.03. But what if I just gave you $5.03? Buddy, it would take you a nanosecond to know that you've been shortchanged, right? So don't tell me you can't do positives and negatives. Because when you have a negative number, what does that mean in money? You owe. And when you have a positive in money, you what? You have. That's the only rule you have to remember. There's one other rule you have to remember when subtracting and adding or combining or whatever you want to call it. And that is two negatives together with nothing in between them make a what? Make a positive. That's the only three laws you have to remember. And I guarantee you, you've been in a classroom where they've taught you 5, 6 different rules about adding and subtracting terms. That's all you got to remember. That's it right there. Show you. -4 plus 3 minus 6 minus 4. Okay, all of them left to right because it's all brothers and sisters, which we'll talk about in algebra. So you go from left to right. Let's talk about this. Take my red highlighter. I can't find it. There it is. And I'm going to highlight this guy. Why am I going to highlight him red? Because he's owing. He owes money. And I can't call this one black because it's written in black. Black is good, so we'll call it blue. I'll highlight it blue because if I highlight it black, it'll see the 3. Let me ask you a question. Will Bill Gates ever spend all his money? No. So Bill Gates will always be positive. Unlike Hubert, I have to transfer money all the time. I have to be on my phone when I go up there. I have to check it. Okay, Bill is going to be $300. I got $150. I have to transfer some money. At least I have some money to transfer. Okay? But the whole point is, I'm always in the what? Negative. I'm always in the red. So I like to spend money. If I had $1 million, I'd have to spend before I got back from Atlanta. I'd have a bulldozer with air conditioning. I'd have a track hoe with air conditioning. And I'd probably have a track loader with air conditioning. And they'd all be, I'd be pulling them with I couldn't pull them with a brand new truck, I wouldn't pull it. So, and then I'd have a brand new Dodge. That's my 4 things that I would buy after I paid off the house. You know, I'd have my money spent. But that bulldozer and all that stuff I'd be using on the farm for the next 20 years or 30 years. But the whole point is some of us are spenders and some of us are savers. There's no in between. You're either a spender or a saver. Usually you women, most of the time your women are better savers than spenders. Most of the time, especially in a relationship. Because your men, unless your man is over 40 years old, he's still a kid. And he still thinks he can go out and buy toys. Big boy toys, you know, the ones that cost a lot. Until he gets about 35 or 40 and he starts growing out of that. But you still have 40-year-olds that cruise them all. So, but there's a spender and a saver. Is this a Bill Gates or is this a Hubert McClure? It's Hubert McClure because there's more what? You owe more than you're what? Bringing in. So your answer is going to be what? Negative. Or you can just go left to right and you can say, I owe $4, I have 3. What's the outcome of owing 4 and having 3? You owe 1. What's the outcome of owing 1 and owing 6? What's the outcome of owing 7 and owing 4? Now, what was so hard about that? You put positives and negatives in terms of money, and you can add them and subtract them all day long and not have to worry about any rules, except for that one where the two negatives are there. Let's do a narrative. -4 plus 6 minus 7. You owe 4. You have 6. What's the outcome? You have 2. You have 2. You owe 7. This is Hubert. -5. Sorry. Simple as that. Oh, Hubert, what about all them things we saw in high school? I'll give you one. Well, they put a bunch of junk in it. 4 minus -2 plus a -6. That's when they put a bunch of parentheses. They'll put a parenthesis here, and then they'll put a parenthesis here. And all this is trying to do is bumpuzzle you into being confused. Clean it up. Cut away the fat. Cut away all this stuff. What do those two negatives make? This right here, just throw that away. Don't even need it. What's 4 plus 2? 6 minus 6? 0. Simple as that. Now, how many of you had a teacher that gave you all kind of rules to add or subtract fractions? You remember them? Add the opposite. Remember that? It's worthless. How you feel about that? Everybody good? All right, now let's talk about dividing and multiplying, which is real simple. Multiply and dividing signs. What do y'all remember? Anybody remember the rule? Anybody remember it from school or from your previous class? Real simple. For multiplying and dividing signs, like signs are what? I heard, brother. That's what I heard. Like signs are what? Positive. Then what is unlike? Unlike are what? That's it. So let's do a couple. -4 divided by 2 is equal to what? That's -4 divided by a +2. Is that like or unlike? Unlike. And I'll tell you an easy way to remember. Everybody's had, I don't know if everybody has had a jumper cables in your car, but you need to pay it. Everybody needs to have a pair of jumper cables in your car. And some of y'all are going, what are jumper cables? Well, it's your parents' fault. Whoever takes care of you, it's their fault. They should tell you. Your guardian, your grandmother, your grandfather, they should tell you. They should show you how to use a pair of jumper cables. If you don't know how to use a pair of jumper cables, you come see me, and I'll show you. I'll give you a pair cheap. I'm going to give you a pair of $60. All right? You need to have a pair in your car. All right? Why? Because your battery may go dead. Now, if your battery goes dead because your alternator's dead, it's not going to help you. But if your battery goes dead because you left your lights on, or left your stereo on, or left your inside light on, or whatever, something like that, you're going to need it. But what happens, the way that you hook up jumper cables is you hook the red to the what? The positive. Good. And the black to the what? Negative. Now, I don't know why red is positive and black is negative, because it's the opposite in economics. I guess red hot. Red is hot and the positive is hot. That's why. Anyway, if you take those two, put them on your battery, and the battery's hot, meaning the battery on a good car, and you take the other two ends and you touch them together, what happens? They spark. Scare the heck out of some people. I love doing it every once in a while still. Because they don't know what happened. There's some people who don't know what will happen. And you also check it, and that's what my daddy and my granddaddy used to do. Why you tap them together? To see if they got a good connection on your battery. If they don't, there are some jumper cables that ain't worth too soon. And you can hook them up, and you can sit there for half a day, and it won't charge your battery up because the jumper cables are bad. So what you do is you just touch them real lightly together to see if there's a spark. If there's a spark, then you got a good connection, and you got a good pair of jumper cables. And then you plug it up to the right and left. But if you cross the red and the black, remember, it ain't good. Because if you hold those two things there, what's going to happen? You're going to blow the good alternator up, not blow it up physically, but it's going to burn it out. It's going to burn your cables, and it's probably not going to do your battery any good either.
Yeah, my boyfriend stopped and helped some people in the Walmart parking lot, they had trucks burnt out,
Mhm.
so he was letting them use their cables and they weren't paying any attention.
And they hooked it up on. Well, hopefully they got them off quick.
They did.
That's why you always let the owner of the jumper cables put them on. Always.
When it happened to me, it blew my whole computer board in my car.
They hooked it up wrong. Did you hook them up?
No, it was a man, I forget what it was called, but it was something like, instead of by the end of some little box, it's got all kind of electrical control.
Yeah, that's the CPU of the car.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, just remember, if you touch those two together, it ain't good. If you have two of them, different signs, it ain't good. And what's good? Negative or positive? Positive is good, so that means this is what? Negative, because it's got a positive and a negative. That's going to cause a spark. There's your spark right there. Spark ain't no good. It blows things up. And what's 4 divided by 2? Negative 2. Negative 2 is your 10 times 4. 2 positives. If you hook that red cable up to the positive and your red cable up to the positive, there will be no spark at all. Nothing. It will not hurt a thing. So, positive 40. And you don't have to put the positive, but I'm just showing you that light signs are positive. Whether you're dividing or whether you're subtracting. Remember. Okay? Now that's 5.2. When y'all come back next week, we're going to do the last 2 sections next week. And you have to look at your syllabus for that. It's not 5.4. So you should be working on 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, and then we'll cover the rest of Unit 1 next week. All right, let me pull up the do-jigger. What time's class over? 2 minutes? I thought it said 2 minutes. Thank you. Try to make me leave early. I gotta go pick up my son. Oh, really? Oh, I gotta also download this video.